These super baits destroy fish of all kinds. They are not one fish wonders, they're actually destroyers of the deep. In this video, I will go over 3 different effective setups for any kind of super bait and any kind of fish. Welcome back to another Walking on Water tutorial. Let's get right into it. This is a super bait. This is a super bait. This is a super bait. And this is a super bait. These are all Brad's super baits. Now, there's a few other super bait companies out there, guys, and I really do enjoy the Brad's though. These are my favorite. This is the Cut Plug super bait. I believe it's Mountain Dew by Brad's. These are absolute killer super baits. We're gonna work with the Cut Plug one today so you guys can see everything, and we are gonna break down different setups for this actual super bait itself. And now when I mean setups, what I'm talking about and what I'm pertaining to is realistically how we're gonna rig the hooks on this Cut Plug super bait as it is, right? We don't really need to do much with the super bait itself. Everything's dialed in for us. We have the line guides right here on the back. So you have 1, 2, and then 3 up through that hole is what's going to give it our spin. And we're going to set this whole entire thing up for you guys so you can control or not control your setback of your hooks. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about setting up Brad's. Other than that, these super baits are extremely effective and super easy to use. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, so I always offset my hooks. I always run 2 different sizes. I like my stinger hook or my trail hook to be a little bit smaller. And for springers, that is and has been a key to my success for actually keeping fish on the hook. A lot of people will say, no, that's too small of a hook, that's too small of a hook, but I guarantee you, if you watched any of my previous videos from last year, me down on the Columbia River catching spring Chinook, I used a very small stinger or trail hook, and I will show you what that is right now. So my main hook is a size 2 Gamakatsu, and then my trailer hook or my stinger hook is actually a size 1, a very small hook, but also they're very sharp hooks. And when those fish come up and bite that, you have that gap in between your hooks. That little hook, 9 times out of 10, is gonna bury in the corner of that Chinook's mouth. So let's set this thing up. Let's not waste any more time. All right, guys, first things first, we're gonna start with our trail hook. And what we're gonna do is we're literally just gonna tie a non-slip mooching rig. And I do have a video of this broken down on my channel. So if you wanna go over there and watch that, how to tie up a non-slip mooching rig, you can do that. I'm gonna do it pretty quick. I'm gonna talk you through it, but it's also gonna be pretty fast. We're just gonna pull the cord and get going. We're gonna start tying up our non-slip mooching rig. So we're gonna grab our 1/0 hook, our little trailer hook, and we're gonna cut this with scissors really fast because when you bite it, it crimps it. So we're gonna feed that down through the eye, right down there along the shank, just like so, and then we're gonna wrap around the shank 6 times, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're gonna hold that line with our finger just like so, looking and grabbing the tag or the main body of the line, not the tag, and then we're gonna try to get this one down through the little tiny eye of the 1/0 hook because these little 1/0s are actually a little tough to get the line down through the eye, but we got it right there. So just like that, we're gonna get that line over there. You wanna hold everything nice and tight the whole entire time so you don't get that line up above, just like that. Sometimes if you go too fast, the line will pile up over the front of the eye of it, just like that, and then we're gonna move on, okay? So now we're gonna grab our 2/0 hook, just like so, and then we're gonna feed the line through the eye, just like that, and then we're gonna pull it down. Super easy, guys, super simple. I always like to leave a 2-finger gap in between my hooks. It allows the fish to spin and move without the top hook interfering with that, and as well as if they are spinning and moving, you have another chance of them actually getting tangled up in that top hook. And when they're coming up for that super bait, it's spinning so erratically, they're not really that hook shy. Plus they're smelling that tuna or that fillet you have in there. And then we're also gonna wrap the top one 6 times as well. We're gonna look down here, we're gonna grab our line. Can't see because my fingers, I'm sorry. We're gonna put that down through the eye like that. Then we're gonna slowly pull. You don't wanna go too fast. You wanna make sure you have pressure on the knot when you're pulling, just like so. And then we're gonna cinch it down tight, just like that. Then we're gonna grab our scissors or your shears, and we're just gonna simply cut the tag in. Now, we have an offset non-slip mooching rig, just like so, that we are gonna place in behind our Brad's Superbait, the cut plug Superbait. And now is where we're gonna get into the different methods of actually setting these things up. Now we're gonna start with the most common, and then we're gonna move to the, maybe you already do it this way, so maybe it's not, maybe it is common to you, maybe it's not common to you, or maybe you do it the other way, and those ones, I'm just gonna rank them how I see them. And so let's get into them. Okay, guys, so the first things first, the most common way to rig a cut plug, a kokanee cut plug, the original Superbait is with beads, okay? So we have some Simon 6mm beads right here, and this is actually the most common way that I see people rigging their Superbaits, and I don't really like this way because it literally restricts how and where you can place your setback. So the first thing that we're gonna do, this is a 4-inch cut plug. It is the cut plug from Brad's, and we are gonna take our 6mm beads, like these ones right here, and we're just gonna start putting them down the line. Okay? So as we put these down the line, guys, if you enjoy these videos at all, and you just like what you're seeing, or you enjoy watching the fishing, or you enjoy learning something, if you guys would just share these out to your friends and family, subscribe for sure, and also hit that bell notification, guys. Also, you could join the Walking on Water Facebook page. It's a private group that you can post anything you want about fishing, as well as interact with me or anybody in the Walking on Water community. So we'd love to have you there. Also, you could go over to the Facebook page, Walking on Water, and you could like that, and you could watch our long form content there as well. So now that we got these beads on, thank you guys so much. We have 5 6mm beads, and that is what is going to provide us with our first setback. So we're just gonna grab our Superbait, we're gonna feed the line, we're gonna take the rubber band off because that's gonna hinder my line going in. We're gonna feed the line up and through, just like so. Up and through, just like so. Pretty easy. Through the small guide right back here in the back, and then the big guide, and then right down here through this hole. Okay, and then out the top, just like so. Now, this is setup number 1, which honestly looks absolutely beautiful. You got the 6mm beads that stop right at the end of that cut plug Superbait right here, and this is your setback, and this is how you control your setback right here. This is a great way to do it, and this is the most common way to do it, but this is not how I would actually set these up. This is just the first way that you can do it. So super fast, super easy. Number 1, 5 6mm beads behind your Superbait, which will give you a setback, but a locked in place setback, so you have no control over where or how this setback maneuvers. Okay, so now let's get into the number 2 way to set this up. That's a little bit more efficient, but also super easy, and I'm sure some of you do it, so let's get right into it. Okay guys, let's get into the next setback that we can put on this Brad's cut plug Superbait right here. Okay, so the number 2, this one, you take the rubber band first, you feed it down your line, just like so. Okay, feed that down your line till it gets all the way down there. Okay, it's down there on that hook. Then we're gonna take 2 beads, 2 of the 6mm chartreuse beads that we have here, and we're gonna feed them down our line as well, okay? Boom, there you have it. Now, what we're gonna do next is, instead of going through this back guide right here, we're just gonna put it through the top guide, okay? Then we're gonna feed our line again out the hole. There we have it. Now, we're gonna put our beads up in front of our rubber band, right? Okay, see our beads are underneath the cut plug, just like so. Now, you're opening it up, you're baiting it up, you're closing it. Now you're getting ready to rig. So what you do is, you set your setback, then you just simply slide your rubber band back up, over, and you have your beads underneath, just like so. See your 2 beads? Okay? Now, this rubber band is going to act as a stopper for your line. See, you pull it up a little bit to control your setback, right? You're getting short struck, and the fish are coming up behind it. A short strike is where a fish comes up behind it, guys, and it misses the hook actually because it's coming up and short striking. So being able to control your setback is actually going to give you an advantage when you're fishing for a spring Chinook or Chinook in general, because you're going to be able to determine, okay, I'm getting short struck. Now I need to be able to set back my hooks so I can get back in the zone to where they're actually biting. So the rubber band's going to work like a bobber stop and hold your bait in just like so you can set back any distance you want. You want to move it up, you just give the line a little bit of a pull, you put it in the water you're fishing. If fish comes up, bites, it's going to pull it out a little bit, but it's going to pull it out a little bit, but you just readjust it and then you keep fishing, guys. So that is the number 2 way to rig up a super bait of any kind, is using the rubber band like a bobber stop to utilize your hooks and set them back the distance that you want them to. That's the number 2 way to rig up the Brad's cut plug, just like so you can have a setback via just the rubber band. Okay? Super simple, super easy. Let's get into the 3rd way to set this thing up so we can effectively target any type of fish that we want with these amazing cut plugs. All right, guys. Now, the 3rd and final way to set this super bait up is a little bit unorthodox, but it is also a great way and an inexpensive way to set this up so you can have a setback as well. So let's get right into that. Okay, guys, first things first, we're going to grab our beads again. We're going to feed 1 onto the line like so. We're going to feed 2 onto the line like so. Okay, we're going to let these ones go all the way down to the bottom just like that. Then we're going to come back and we're going to grab 1 more bead. Okay, 3 beads. We're going to put the line through. I got to trim this line because there's a crimp in it. Okay, just like so. Then we're going to grab our line and we're going to go back up and through the bead 1 more time. Just like that, and then we're going to pull it out, okay? Now we have a loop in our bead. If you can see the loop right next to my thumb, just like so. Now, it's going to want to pull tight. So we're going to work this bead all the way down the line so you have a built-in bobber stop with this bead, okay? Okay, we're going to keep working it. Just like so, till we get all the way down the line. We're just pushing the bead down the line, and as soon as there's a giant loop, we're just pulling the loop and it's tightening itself up, okay? All the way down, all the way down. All the way down. There we are. Pull the loop out so it's not getting all tangled up. And then we're just pulling it tight, okay? Just like so. So we tightened it all the way down, and now you have a bobber stop essentially that you can adjust for your setback. Let's rig this thing up so I can show you guys how it works. So with this one, we're going to go again. We're going to go through all 3 of the guides. Then we're going to go through the hole again. Up through the hole. Till we're down. And now we are tight, just like so, okay? Now, let's grab our rubber band. Let's put our rubber band back on here. So we're going to grab our rubber band. We're slipping it on the back. Just like that. Got stabbed with the hook. Perfect. Thank you. You know you're setting up fishing tackle when you're getting stabbed with hooks. And I love it. Okay, so now you're asking, okay, so these beads are floating back here on the hook just like so, okay? We have our bobber stop bead at the top, and we want to adjust the setback just a little bit. So we pull the super bait out a little bit, okay? You simply just push the main line down, make that little loop again like you see right there, and you can pull that bead up, and then you tighten the bead down. See how now this bead is about a 1/2 inch away from the bottom beads? Now look. Got our super bait right here, and we have our setback adjusted even farther back, guys. So these are 3 absolute, very simple ways and different ways to effectively set up any super bait when you're fishing for actually any type of fish. These super baits catch everything from trout, kokanee, lake trout, coho, sockeye, chinook, and a variety of other types of species of sport fish. I'm sure you could catch a pike on these things, a muskie. Superbaits and Brad's Superbaits are one of the most universal type baits that I've ever come across. And these are just 3 simple ways, guys, to set these up so you can get out on the water and be more confident and just be a little bit more effective in understanding how everything works when you're actually rigging these up. It's one thing to watch a video and just copy what they're doing, but it's another thing to learn different styles and different methods so you can find the method that you like and that you want to use on the water. So when you're sharing information and you're taking somebody out to fish, you fully understand how and why you're running that setup. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this Walking on Water tutorial. It was my pleasure to show you my 3 different methods of setting up brads or any kind of super bait for any kind of fish. And they are very effective baits like we talked about before. So thank you guys so much. Again, smash that subscribe button, share it out to your friends and family, hit the bell notification if you enjoy so you can watch a lot more. Again, Walking on Water Private Fishing Facebook group, as well as the Walking on Water Fishing Facebook page if you guys want to go over there and enjoy some of that content too. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the water. Catch you in the next one.